Welcome back to Easy English Talk Podcast.
Some people face the same challenges as you, but they never quit. They keep going when everyone else stops. What do they know that others do not? Welcome to Easy English Talk Podcast. I am Ryan, and with me is Priya. Today we are discussing the secret habit of people who never give up.
Thanks, Ryan. And this is such a powerful topic because we all face moments when we want to quit. But some people have developed a habit that keeps them going no matter what happens.
Exactly. And if you clicked on this episode, you have probably felt like giving up on something important. By the end of this conversation, you will understand the one habit that separates people who persist from people who quit. This is not about willpower or motivation. It is about something deeper.
Yes, and we will show you exactly how to build this habit in your own life. By listening to this episode, you will learn why some people keep going when things get hard and how you can develop that same persistence. This habit will change how you approach every challenge.
Perfect. So let us start with the big question. What is the secret habit? Because I think people expect it to be something complicated, but it is actually quite simple.
You are right. It is simple, but not easy. The secret habit is this. People who never give up have learned to separate their feelings from their actions. They feel discouraged, tired, or afraid, but they act anyway.
So they don't wait to feel motivated. They do not wait until the fear goes away. They just accept the feeling and take action despite it. That is the habit.
Exactly. And this is so different from what most people do. Most people think they need to feel ready before they act. They wait for motivation, confidence, or the perfect moment. And while they wait, they do nothing.
So they let their feelings control their actions. If they feel scared, they do not act. If they feel tired, they stop. Their emotions are in charge, not their decisions.
Yes, and that is why they give up so easily. Because feelings change constantly. One day you feel motivated, the next day you do not. If your actions depend on your feelings, you will never be consistent.
But people who never give up understand something important. Feelings are just weather. They come and go. You don't control them, but you do control your actions.
Exactly. And this is the habit. Do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel. Not in a harsh way, but in a committed way. You acknowledge the feeling and you act anyway.
So before we go deeper into how to build this habit, let us talk about why people struggle with this. Why do most people let their feelings stop them?
Great question. First, we are taught to trust our feelings. We grow up hearing, follow your heart, do what feels right. And feelings are important for some decisions, but not for persistence.
Right, because persistence often feels wrong. It feels uncomfortable. Your feelings will tell you to stop, to quit, to give up. If you follow those feelings, you will never accomplish anything difficult.
Exactly. And the second reason is that we avoid discomfort. Our brain is designed to seek comfort and avoid pain. So when something feels hard or unpleasant, our brain sends signals to stop.
And most people listen to those signals. They think if something feels hard, it means they should not do it. But actually, hard things are usually the most valuable things.
Yes. And the third reason is instant gratification. We live in a world where everything is fast. Fast food, fast entertainment, fast results. So we expect success to feel good and happen quickly.
But real achievement takes time. And during that time, it often feels frustrating, boring, or discouraging. People who give up cannot handle that gap between effort and reward.
Exactly. They need to feel good immediately, and when they do not, they quit. They move to something else that gives them a quick emotional reward.
So our culture, our brain design, and our expectations all work against persistence. That is why this habit is so rare and so powerful.
Yes, and now let us talk about what happens when you do not have this habit. What are the costs of letting your feelings control your actions?
Great point, because I think people don't realize how much this costs them over time.
The first cost is unrealized potential. You have dreams and goals, but you never reach them because you quit when things get uncomfortable. You spend your whole life wondering what you could have been.
And that regret is heavy. You look back and see all the times you gave up, all the opportunities you walked away from because you didn't feel like continuing.
Exactly. And the second cost is low self-trust. Every time you quit, you prove to yourself that you cannot be relied on. You break promises to yourself, and over time, you stop believing in your own word.
So when you say, I am going to do this, a voice inside says, no, you're not. You always quit. That damages your confidence deeply.
Yes, and the third cost is missed growth. The best growth happens in discomfort. When you push through hard moments, you become stronger, wiser, more capable. But if you always quit when things get hard, you never grow.
So you stay the same year after year. You don't develop resilience or skills or character. You remain fragile and limited.
Exactly. And the fourth cost is external. Other people stop trusting you too. If you always start things and never finish them, people notice. They don't count on you for important things.
So you miss opportunities, jobs, relationships, collaborations, because people need to know you will follow through, not just when you feel like it, but especially when you don't.
Yes, and all of these costs add up. An entire life can be shaped by this one weakness, letting feelings control actions. It is an expensive habit to have.
So let us talk about the opposite. How do you build the habit of acting despite your feelings? What are the practical steps?
The first step is awareness. Start noticing when your feelings are stopping you. You want to exercise, but you feel tired. You need to work, but you feel unmotivated. You should practice English, but you feel nervous.
So you catch the moment. You see clearly, my feeling is trying to stop my action. Just that awareness is powerful, because most people don't even notice it happening.
Exactly. And once you notice, the second step is to name the feeling. Say to yourself, I feel tired, or I feel afraid, or I feel discouraged. Name it clearly.
Why is naming important?
Because it creates separation. When you name the feeling, you are observing it, not being it. You are not tired, you feel tired. That is different. One is your identity, the other is just a passing state.
I love that. So you are the observer of the feeling, not the feeling itself. That creates space to choose differently.
Exactly. And the third step is to make a different choice. Say to yourself, I feel tired, and I am going to exercise anyway. I feel unmotivated, and I am going to work anyway.
So you acknowledge the feeling, you do not deny it or fight it, but you also do not obey it. You just notice it and choose your action independently.
Yes, and this is crucial. You are not trying to change the feeling. You are not trying to force yourself to feel motivated. You just accept the feeling and act despite it.
That sounds simple, but I imagine it is hard at first. How does someone practice this?
Start very small. Do not try this with your biggest challenge. Choose something small. Maybe you feel like skipping your morning routine. Notice the feeling, name it, and do the routine anyway.
So you build the muscle with small repetitions. Each time you act despite a feeling, you make the habit a little stronger.
Exactly. And celebrate those small wins. Each time you do this, acknowledge it. You just chose action over feeling. That is growth.
And over time, this becomes automatic. You feel resistance, and you just move forward anyway. It becomes your default response.
Yes. And here's what is interesting. The feelings do not go away. People who never give up still feel discouraged, tired, and afraid. They just don't let those feelings make their decisions.
So it is not about becoming fearless or always motivated. It is about acting regardless of fear or motivation. That is so much more realistic and achievable.
Exactly. And this brings us to another important aspect. You need a clear reason why. When you know why something matters, it is easier to act despite your feelings.
So it is not just discipline for discipline's sake. You have a purpose that is bigger than your temporary discomfort.
Yes, and this purpose becomes your anchor. When you feel like quitting, you remember why you started, why this matters, what you are working toward.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Let's say you are learning English. Some days you feel frustrated and want to quit, but you remember your why. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want a better job. Maybe you want to connect with people from different countries.
So that bigger reason pulls you forward when the feeling is pushing you backward. The why is stronger than the discomfort.
Exactly. And this is why people who never give up always have a clear purpose. They are not just going through motions. They know what they are building and why it matters.
So how does someone clarify their why? What if they're not sure?
Ask yourself, what will my life look like if I keep going? And what will it look like if I quit? Be honest about both futures. That clarity helps you choose action over feeling.
So you visualize the outcome of persistence and the outcome of quitting. And usually, one path is clearly better, even if it is harder.
Yes. And another powerful tool is identity. People who never give up see themselves as persistent people. It's part of who they are, not just what they do.
So they might say, I am someone who finishes what I start, or I am someone who keeps commitments. That identity guides their actions.
Exactly. And when you have that identity, quitting feels wrong, not because of external pressure, but because it conflicts with who you know you are.
How does someone build that identity if they have a history of giving up?
You start small and build evidence. Every time you follow through on a small commitment, you prove to yourself that you are becoming a person who persists. The identity grows from repeated actions.
So you cannot just declare the identity. You have to earn it through consistent behavior. But each small win adds to the evidence.
Yes, and over time, you genuinely see yourself differently. You trust yourself more, and that trust makes persistence easier.
Let's talk about the role of routine in this habit, because I think having structure helps you act despite feelings.
Absolutely. Routine removes decision-making. When something is part of your routine, you do not debate whether to do it. You just do it because it is what you do at that time.
So if exercise is part of your morning routine, you do not ask yourself, do I feel like exercising? You just exercise because it's morning, and that is what happens in the morning.
Exactly. The routine makes action automatic, and when action is automatic, feelings have less power to stop you.
So people who never give up often have strong routines. They have systems that keep them going regardless of motivation or mood.
Yes, and this is especially important for the hard days. When you feel terrible, the routine carries you. You don't have to think or decide. You just follow the routine.
That's smart, because on hard days, decision-making is difficult, but following a routine is much easier.
Exactly. And this brings us to another key point. People who never give up have realistic expectations. They know there will be hard days. They don't expect to feel good all the time.
So they are not surprised or discouraged by difficulty. They expect it. And because they expect it, they do not take it as a sign to quit.
Yes, most people think if something is hard, it means something is wrong. But actually, hard is normal. Hard is part of the process. Expecting easy is what makes you quit.
So you prepare mentally for difficulty. You tell yourself, this will be hard sometimes, and that is okay. I will keep going anyway.
Exactly. And when the hard times come, you are not shocked. You just think, here is the hard part I expected, and you keep moving.
That mental preparation is huge because so many people quit simply because difficulty surprises them. They weren't ready for it.
Yes, and another aspect of this habit is self-compassion. People who never give up aren't harsh with themselves. They are kind but firm.
What does that look like practically?
It means when you feel like quitting, you do not beat yourself up for feeling that way. You acknowledge it with kindness. This is hard. I feel tired. That makes sense. And then you gently choose to continue anyway.
So it is not about being tough and ignoring your feelings. It is about being understanding while still choosing action.
Exactly. Harsh self-criticism actually makes quitting more likely, because when you are cruel to yourself, you feel worse, and then you want to escape through quitting.
But kind firmness feels different. You can say, I understand this is hard for you, and I also know you can do this. Let us keep going.
Yes, you talk to yourself like a supportive coach, not like a harsh drill sergeant. That sustainable approach builds long-term persistence.
Let us talk about setbacks, because even people who never give up have setbacks. How do they handle those without quitting?
Great question. They expect setbacks. They know progress is not linear. So when a setback happens, they do not interpret it as failure or a reason to quit.
So they might think, okay, this didn't work. What can I learn? What can I try differently? The setback is just information, not a stop sign.
Exactly. And they separate a setback from their identity. The project failed, but I am not a failure. I had a bad day, but I am not a bad person.
That separation is crucial, because if you think one setback means you are a failure, of course you will quit. Why continue if you have already decided you cannot succeed?
Yes, but if you see setbacks as temporary and external, you can keep going. You just adjust and try again.
So resilience is built into this habit. You bounce back because you have trained yourself to separate feelings and actions, setbacks and identity.
Exactly. And here's something beautiful. Over time, this habit makes you stronger. Each time you act despite feelings, you build confidence and capability.
So you prove to yourself that you can handle discomfort. You can do hard things. You can keep going when others quit. That proof is powerful.
Yes, and that proof compounds. You look back and see evidence. I kept going when I wanted to quit, and I succeeded. That memory fuels future persistence.
So you build a history of not giving up, and that history becomes a resource you can draw on when things get hard again.
Exactly. You can say, I have done hard things before. I can do this too. That belief is earned through action, not just positive thinking.
Let us talk about the role of other people in this habit. Can community help you not give up?
Absolutely. When you share your goals with supportive people, they can encourage you on hard days. They remind you of your why when you forget.
So you are not relying only on your own willpower. You have external accountability and support.
Yes, but here's the key. Choose people who understand this habit. People who will say, I know you do not feel like it, but you are going to do it anyway, right?
Not people who say, if you don't feel like it, maybe you should quit. That is not helpful support.
Exactly. You want people who believe in persistence, who will hold you accountable, lovingly but firmly.
And you can also be that person for others. When you develop this habit, you can help others not give up on their goals.
Yes, and teaching this habit to others actually strengthens it in yourself. It becomes part of your identity and your relationships.
So let us talk about long-term benefits. What happens when you live with this habit for years?
Everything changes. You accomplish things you never thought possible. Because you keep going when others quit, you eventually reach goals that seem impossible to most people.
So you are not smarter or more talented, you just have the habit of persistence, and that habit beats talent over time.
Exactly. And you develop deep self-trust. You know that when you commit to something, you will follow through. That confidence affects every area of your life.
You also become someone others can count on. Your word means something. When you say you will do something, people believe you.
Yes, and you build a life that reflects your values, not just your moods. You create what matters to you instead of drifting based on how you feel.
That is a profound difference. Most people drift. Their life is shaped by feelings and circumstances. But people with this habit shape their own life through consistent action.
Exactly. And here's something important. This habit does not make you rigid or joyless. You can still be flexible and enjoy life.
Right. Because persistence on important things gives you freedom in other areas. You are not stressed about unfinished goals. You are making progress, so you can relax and enjoy.
Yes, and you learn to distinguish between persistence and stubbornness. Persistence means staying committed to your goal while being flexible about methods. Stubbornness means refusing to adapt.
So you might change your approach, get help, try something different, but you do not abandon the goal. That is smart persistence.
Exactly. And this wisdom comes from practice. You learn when to push through and when to pivot. Both are part of not giving up.
So to wrap this up, let me make sure I understand the habit clearly. The secret is separating feelings from actions, right?
Yes, that is the core. You acknowledge your feelings, you accept them, but you do not let them control your choices. You act based on your commitments and values, not based on your mood.
And you build this habit through small, consistent practice. You notice the feeling, name it, and act anyway, over and over until it becomes automatic.
Exactly. And you support this habit with clear purpose, strong routine, realistic expectations, self-compassion, and good community.
So it is simple, but not easy. It requires practice and patience, but the results are life-changing.
Yes, and anyone can develop this habit. You do not need special talent or circumstances. You just need willingness to act despite feelings.
So what is the one thing you want people to take away from this conversation?
Your feelings are valid, but they do not have to be in charge. You can feel tired and work anyway. Feel afraid and try anyway. Feel discouraged and continue anyway. That choice is always available.
Perfect. And I would add, start building evidence today. Choose one small action despite how you feel, then do it again tomorrow. That is how you become someone who never gives up.
Yes, and be patient with yourself. This is a lifelong habit. Some days will be easier than others. What matters is that you keep practicing, keep choosing action over feeling.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope this conversation helps you understand the habit that creates unstoppable persistence and gives you tools to develop it yourself.
Yes, thank you for being here with us today. And if this topic resonated with you, we have many other episodes on Easy English Talk podcast that support your personal growth. Topics like building discipline, overcoming obstacles, and developing mental strength.
Exactly. We explore so many topics that help you become stronger, more resilient, and more capable. So check out our other episodes. Find the conversations that speak to you and keep growing with us.
We are here to support you every step of the way. Thank you again for listening. And remember that you can do hard things. You just need to act despite how you feel.
Take care, everyone. Start practicing this habit today. Be kind to yourself, but firm in your actions, and watch how your life transforms. We believe in you. See you next time on Easy English Talk Podcast.